on this here right quick, this NBA, man. I watched, let me see what game now I was watching. The Raptors playing Orlando. I mean, Orlando is not really nothing to judge a team by or whatever, man. But as far as the Raptors, with a team like Orlando, you should have been blowing them out, I mean, by at least 30. You know, it's that time of the year where you got to show people that you are a true number one going into the playoff. For two, you will hold home court, right? And you will win this thing no matter what team coming into your home or what team you playing in the series. You will win this series over them and go to the championship. But they didn't show me that yesterday. But they struggled with Orlando for a little bit yesterday, man. Not much, but, I mean, you should have been soaring over them. You should have been, I mean, just blowing them. Your third string should have been in the game in the second half, man. That's how bad you should have been beating Orlando down. But we'll see, man. We'll definitely see, man. You know, everybody says that Toronto going to choke, you know, because they're not used to big-time ball. And when they get the opportunity, they prove people right. But I feel that they can make it. But that's just my feeling. Y'all be like, who the fuck is you? You know, so hey, I feel they can do it. And they will do it. But you got people in there saying Cleveland will prevail. And they will do what they have to do to make it to the finals. But like I said, we had a strong prediction on my show last week that the Cavs and Warriors will not go to the championship. But let me see. Mocha said Michael Stanton should have stayed with the Marlins. He didn't have no choice, Mocha. They couldn't pay him, man. That's why they dumped a lot of guys with some good salaries. They can't pay him, man. You know, they can't have that big ballpark there that took up a lot of money and play these big-time contracts that Jeffrey Lurie, once again, he got all these guys, this big money, and look what's happening. A dumpster fire sale again. Once again, they had that. But the young team they have now is a little feisty, but, you know, that's not going to last, man. You know, once teams get in their groove and rhythm, Miami just going to be a punching bag again. Angry Black Man said he ain't used to that damn cold and rat infested city. You gonna stop talking about our place, man. You gonna stop talking about that shit, angry black man. Shit. I think one time 334 Bama boy told me right over there by the Tampa Stadium, they had some homeless living over there, and it was a little crusty over there, a little dirty over there. So if you're gonna talk about rat infested, right? I'm quite sure rats is coming over there because they leave and they sit out there until they come back to go to sleep at night. Go talk about my team and where I'm from. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Angry Black Man calling from Tampa.
What's up, black man? What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Chief? Hey, I want to get your opinion on this Houston and OKC game Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one there, man. Go ahead, man.
Well, I thought OKC played very well.
Right.
Houston was missing Eric Gordon, so that's a big lift for them off the bench. And they missed that third score.
Right.
But what frustrates me about OKC is they had P.J. Tucker, who's probably about 6'5", maybe 6'6", guarding Carmelo. And they never posted Carmelo the whole second half.
Right. I noticed that, man, because he had a great first half, man, taking jokers to the hole and shooting that three-pointer, man. That's what I want. I'm glad you called. That's what I wanted to talk to you about is the only way OKC can surprise everybody and make it to the finals, this is where Russell Westbrook got to be the floor general that he need to be. He got to make sure PG and Melo is getting the balls in their spots, man, and making that shit work, man. If Melo got a disadvantage on somebody, get that ball down to him, man. And PG, man, it seemed like his jumper is starting to, really make it through that hole. Like, early in the season, it was rimming out, or he was just missing bad. But them two right there is ready to play, man, because they know it's money time. So Westbrook got to realize he got two other players to help him through this, man. What you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a combination of what you said. For Westbrook, he has to try to hold back to let them get going because he could take over at any time. But I think it's how they got Melo playing. They got him spotting up for three so much, but I think now with the playoffs, like I said last week, they got to go to him sometimes in that mid-post where he's dangerous. He got Gerald Green on that mid-post, pump faked him and went to the basket and dunked on him in the first half. But Paul George, about him not settling for jumpers all the time. I don't know if you remember late in the game when Westbrook got that steal on the inbound,
right? And
he got it back to George trailing, and he drove and got a foul. And those two free throws kept him back up like 8 or 9 when Houston was kind of hanging around. The problem with Paul George is, it seems like this year he's relied on Jays. He's not getting the calls when he goes to the basket. So sometimes he's not going to the basket and settling for jumpers. But those three guys got to get to the free throw line at least 20 times between the three of them in the playoff games. If they don't, they won't win. You can't survive with Russell Westbrook being the only guy on their team that gets to the line. Right.
One thing about what I think going on with George, do you think he a little gun shy about going to the hole, man? After that bad injury he had with his leg, man? Do you think he kind of gun shy, or he's just saving it for the playoffs?
I thought he was when he first came back for that shortened season, when he came back a couple years ago at the end of the season for the Pacers. Right. And understandably so. The first time you have an injury like that, the first couple times you get on the court, you kind of gun shy to go to the basket. But I think this year he complained about not getting the calls. OKC had a couple games where the refs missed calls, where they lost those games, which, may make a big difference in their seeding out at the end of the season. But I don't think he's so much scared with the injuries. I think even the other night he went to the hole and got hit a couple times and they didn't call it, and he looked frustrated. I think he just feels like he's not getting the calls some other, star players or all-star players get when they go to the basket. So I don't think it's so much the injury at this point.
Well, I'm glad Melo was starting to get called, because remember the last 2 seasons in New York, Melo was getting beat up, man, and he wasn't getting no calls and whatnot. Now the referees are starting to recognize that, Melo's getting hacked up like he's getting hacked, man. And I felt good for Melo Saturday night, because, man, you mentioned that to each other in the chat, man, that Melo's doing his thing, man. And I think if anybody should get an award, he should get Comeback Player of the Year award, man, because he is helping them make a move towards, going to a round that they haven't been to in a long time. And, let one of them teams slip, Houston or Golden State, I think OKC can get them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Houston. The whole thing with Houston is how the refs officiate the games. James Harden gets away with a lot of flopping, and he also gets away with a lot of driving, and he'll hook the defensive player's arm and flail, and they'll call a foul for him. So it'll be interesting to see how, with the playoffs come, the officiating usually changes in all sports, but especially more so in the NBA, to see how they call the game when Houston plays, they get in the second round, whether it's against maybe OKC or potentially the conference finals against Golden State, to see how they officiate the game when it comes to James Harden.
Yeah, man, definitely that, man. So, I know you're going to have your eyes on it. I'm going to have my eyes on it because, hey, man, I want to see Melo finally play some meaningful ball, man, because, hey, man, it's been a long time since Melo been in a situation where he could go to that championship, man. And I believe if him and Paul George get that opportunity, they're going to make it happen, man. They're going to put it all out on the court, man, because neither one of them had that opportunity. So now it may loom for them, and it all depends on how they get together with Russ and make this thing happen, But Russell Westbrook is a beast. He is a beast. That's all I can say, man. That joke is a beast, man.
Yeah, I think the other night I was more impressed with him that generally when he plays off the ball, he'll stare at the ball and he'll lose his man. But I was impressed with his on-the-ball defense and just even taking the challenge to guard James Harden. You don't see a lot of guys do that. Klay Thompson does it because the Warriors try to, hide Steph a little bit defensively and keep him from, having to bang against guys. But, for a guy like Russell Westbrook that doesn't play the two spot generally, for him to, try to get out there and challenge hard, and he got some fouls, but his effort on defense made a big difference in that game, and it also allowed Paul George to rest, off the ball guard in CP3 late in that fourth quarter. So that's what it takes. That's what it's going to take in the playoffs for all three of those guys to step up and go outside of what they've normally done during the season and what they've done in their career, because they're going to have a hard road to even get to the second round, because the West is it's tough.
Right.
1 through 8 is going to be tough matchups, and almost every team in the playoffs has a go-to guy that can take over a series. So they're going to have to play at their best to even advance.
Oh, definitely that, man. Definitely. And I see a team going backwards in the West, man. Those Minnesota Wolves, man. I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know. Maybe they can pull it out. I mean, because it's still tight, man. These two games are most important games for a lot of teams, man. So come, Wednesday morning, we should know everything? Or Thursday morning?
We can wrap up Wednesday, and then playoffs will start this coming weekend. Start pretty quick.
Right. But that's what they need, man. I mean, keep the fans tuned in, and also keep them from really sitting back, getting too relaxed. They still got the sweat on them from the season. So that's big for the NBA to start it right off, man. Because this 3 out of 5, man, that shit go quick. That shit go real quick, man. So who you got in the finals for both, right? Because I'm taking predictions. Who you got in the finals?
I'm taking Golden State, and I'm going to take Toronto. I just don't believe in Cleveland. I believe in LeBron, but I don't believe in Cleveland's defense. I'm going to take Toronto. I really don't believe in that pick.
Right.
I would have took Boston, but with Kyrie being out, I can't take Boston at all.
Yeah, Boston looking a little suspect too, man. And that's a shame, man. They went this whole season, man, doing their thing, and now it may be the end, man. I wouldn't be surprised they get knocked out the first round.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think they got a good enough coach, and the way their system is, they'll be tough. But I mean, who do they go to if they need buckets in the fourth quarter of playoff games? That's the question.
Yeah, definitely, man. But hey, before I get you out of here, man, what you think about the moves your 49ers made, and about how you feel about the draft?
I feel we made some good moves so far in the offseason. I think the Richard Sherman pickup, it was on the cheap. I wish we had re-signed Eric Reed at safety. I feel a little bit better, but we know why he's not signed, because it's supporting cap.
Right.
I just think right now you try to take the best player available coming up in the draft and just try to keep building from there. I don't know if the Rams have, pushed all their chips to the middle of the table trying to catch the Eagles and pass them and win the Super Bowl. But I feel we can make a jump in our division. Having Garoppolo there for the whole year, and just with Seattle, undergoing major changes, and I don't think the Cardinals would be that much better. I think they're in transition. So if we can go 9-7 this year, that'll be a great year. Somehow we can squeeze the game and get to 10-6. So, the NFL, so many games come down to a couple plays, which makes the difference between you being 10-6 and maybe, 7-9. So just looking for a little bounce this year to get us back to, being on the right track as far as a playoff team and then contender for Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, that's big, man. So we definitely, you're going to be watching this year, right?
No, I will still be boycotting. I will be checking in with the shows and the wrap-ups from you guys. But right now, I'm still on the boycott. Maybe if I don't foresee Cap getting signed, maybe if Eric Reed gets signed, I may adjust my position and start watching these.
Okay, I feel you, man. At least you honest about your stand and everything, man. But always a good call, man. I appreciate you calling, Angry Black Man. And we'll be talking, man.
All right, Chief. Peace.
All right, peace. That was Angry Black Man out of Tampa, Florida, man, with some good thoughts on this here NBA basketball. And, hey, man, all I can say is I